Good evening, Nofos, and welcome to Fogcast.
Ooh. Ta-da. How you doing?
Not too bad, not too bad. It's been a long week. Very long week. It's only Thursday.
This is supposed to be my Friday night, last shift of the week, but it's not, so I've got to work tomorrow night now as well.
Fun times.
Boo-hoo. Yeah, man. Tell me about it. Still,
well, on the
there we go.
On the show this week, we are going through the Octo event debrief, which Lance was attending, and we are going to be discussing how much MilSim costs. MilSim,
fortunes.
It does. But to be fair, I mean that's a fairly good question because I think
even all.
I can't really afford MilSim. Don't want to pay all the kit and stuff. So it should be interesting to see how much we come to. So Harry Badger on the last episode challenged us to go less than £300, which from the quick debrief that we've had, we may have achieved that.
I had to remove one or two things.
Yeah.
A lot, end of episode. That's it, Andy. You know it, mate.
So hi, Andy, Nick, Danny. How you doing?
All good stuff. All good stuff.
We haven't had any reviews. No reviews.
Yeah. You lot are a lot let down, man.
So I don't have to do the stupid French accent. And I'll tell you what, if we get one before the end of the episode, then yeah, go on then.
One thing I asked for one thing, and you just a paragraph. That's all it had to be. But oh no, maybe they just didn't want to see an angry French waiter.
Well, I was practicing montage. The whole.
Oh, Andy's left a review.
Yeah, that was previous though. I'm counting new ones only.
Oh, even Mr. Brewer. Mr. Brewer, the swamp monster, is in the house.
Come on, there's a story there.
Yeah, I will get into that on the Octo debrief. Bless him.
Okay. Hi, Rage.
I do feel terrible. Fresh Meat Rage on the YouTube posse. Yeah. Go play. Any purchases this week, mate? Anything? Any news?
No.
No.
Just trying to think. No, I haven't actually bought anything. I've spent a lot of time browsing the internet trying to find MilSim stuff that we can.
Oh yeah, I did my homework. So I was a good boy.
Bought anything.
Mr. Badger's homework set for us. I bought these.
Cool.
And I bought a couple of sets of these. Reason being is that I was struggling with my battle belt. I need to make it smaller, but I can't be fucked to undo all the desert sniper tape I put around it to support it and make it more rigid. So I'm literally going to put these. Well, I'm thinking my method in my madness, I haven't tried it yet, is to go through the bottom run of the molly on my plate carrier, possibly with that one there, and then have these T-bars through the top molly strap of my belt, so that I can just put a couple at the back maybe, and just have it as a support, just to stop the bad boy dropping down. Struggled with that like hell at Longmore, man. Really struggled with it. Just kept on sliding down. So I'm thinking, maybe give that a go. Yeah, just the movement and that. It never used to do it before, but it's just slowly started. Whether I've miraculously lost some weight, pray tell.
Maybe just
I don't think so.
More.
You know, just maybe running around with, or it's just too big, and I need to make it smaller. But I can't, like I said, I can't be asked to undo all the sniper tape on it. So I'm thinking of these, just as add a little bit of support at the back. Nice and quick release then. And they're British Army Osprey cummerbund T-bar. You usually get 4 down each side, you know what I mean? So nice and strong. So we'll give them a crack, see what happens. Yeah, so that was my little purchase for the week.
Hi, Les, Terry, Sherwood, Nick. Oh, Nick's already said hello. James. Yeah. Fresh Meat said, I did that when I used to run all mine. I used a cams 2 at the back and 2 at the front.
There we go. We're on same wavelength. All good stuff.
or scams, as that spells.
Yeah, or scams.
Should we jump into the event debrief? Because I'm quite excited to hear about how it all went, basically.
It was really, do you know what? It was brilliant. It was really good. So it was a site. It was Camp Bravo at Eversley, which is just literally about 200 yards from the Alpha site, just past the concrete cement works type thing. Just hook a left after the green shipping containers, and it's just in there. Great little setup for the site. Nice camping area. All inside pine trees, so it's quite picturesque. Really nice. Nice big tall pines. Great site facilities. Porta toilets, not a problem. You know, it's a toilet for using that for a day or so. It's no biggie. Doesn't have to be the Ritz, does it? Yeah, we had a Portaloo. It was fantastic, nice and clean. Everyone's respectful. You know, sit down and clean your mess up after yourselves and all that business. There's no horridness to be found when you open the door. Just went, oh my good God!
No Mona Lisa painted on the wall.
No. Yeah. No dirty Sanchez's or anything like that. So that was cool. Nice fully stocked shop on the site. A little cafe sort of thing, and I believe with this event you could get a meal voucher. So I think the Friday night they had a spaghetti bolognese. Whoever bought a meal ticket, so it was a nice big spag bowl Friday night, and I think the Saturday night they had a chicken curry after the stop for the 8 hours. So that was cool. They had a full breakfast in the morning, English breakfast, all cooked up on the site. So yeah, site.
That sounds like the best case.
Oh mate, it was brilliant. Yeah, all nicely illuminated at night time as well. All good signage and everything for you, so no worries of where stuff was. Safe zone was nicely demarcated. And it's just a wicked looking site. They've really gone out all out for obviously Halloween coming up. So there's loads of decorations. There was like zombie arms coming out the floor and stuff. You obviously didn't see King Kong's finger left on Sunday. No, mate, I didn't. Unless that was me before I drove home with my sore toe. But yeah, overall first looks at the site was brilliant. Really cool. So we got set up on the Friday evening, barbecue, a few beers. Game kicked off on the Saturday. Obviously, I was PMC with Mr. Tim Brown and the Phoenix boys. Myself and Mark Kettles from our team, Mike. Only the two of us this time, which was cool. I jumped into it. The actual site, the game zone itself was wicked. It's all like sort of pine forest, swampland, sort of marshlands as you go further into the field. There's a huge plateau in the middle. So basically, you've got this big plateau with a lot of the site features on it. And then there's like a perimeter road which runs around. And then there's some small features dotted further down. So it steps off. So it's quite cool because you could look out across almost like a valley. Like you had loads of low-lying bracken, big tall pine trees. A bit like Endor from Return of the Jedi. Similar to my setting behind me, actually, to be fair. It's really cool. Great gameplay from the off. Nice build-up. Plenty of LARPing going on. And obviously the characters that Octo put out the bag for all these events. We had one guy, like a Dr. Evil type guy, come mooching down with his cat. As you do, as the Bond villain. It was brilliant. I mean, they always go all out for stuff like that. And it's proper funny. And we had good contacts with JTF. Mr. Brewer's mob really put up a good fight. So that was so the Saturday was a lot of no contacts to start with. It built up sort of slowly. Got a lot of the story coming out and getting things into place and carrying out taskings that didn't require sort of like contacts to be had. If you follow me, there was sort of like cloak and dagger bits and bobs. And then as the day progressed on, then you started to get little contacts here and there, and then that sort of led into a big crescendo for the Sunday sort of thing. So Saturday out of the way, fantastic play, no complaints, no people being arses or anything like that. It was really good fun. Ended on a big high. My foot started to ache on the Saturday morning. Now I thought, this is a little story. So I thought I used to get this problem with my big knuckle in my big toe, and I used to have to click it, and it was like, oh, that's better. And I thought it was that, and I thought it's just taking a bit longer to click than what it normally does. So I chucked my boots on, played the whole day. Started to get a bit worse in the Saturday evening. So I thought, right, couple of paracetamol, couple of beers, bit of barbecue food, sit around the fire, get my head down, be all right for Sunday. No. So I woke up Sunday. Oh my God. Looked up online what it could be, and all systems were pointing at gout in the big toe. And mate, I have never felt pain like it. It was unbelievable. So I couldn't play the Sunday. I managed to get a lot of my kit packed up. I did a little bit of sort of sniping, if you like, from just inside the game zone without having to walk too far. And then I had to leave by sort of like 11:30. I couldn't even walk barely. I had to drive back down the M3, down the M25, literally crying, just screaming out the window of my truck. People going past, just like, are you all right? I'm like, no! Fucking no!
It's hard as well when...
Mate, I've never known pain like it.
Assuming it was your right foot, was it?
It was my right big toe, yeah.
Yeah, so every time you accelerate, you're like, ah!
Of course, it's the truck. So it's a 15-year-old Mitsubishi Shogun Sport. So it's... Oh, no. So I got back home, painkillers, got doctor's appointment, naproxen, anti-inflammatory, Dubris, 6 of them, and I'm 100% again now, so it's good as gold. So, yeah. Change your lifestyle, lose some weight, drink more water. That's what. And to be fair, I've never drunk so much water in the last few days as what I have, and it's become quite a regular thing for me now. So whenever I get up to go and have a cup of tea, whilst the kettle's boiling, pint of water, and just getting into that sort of habit. So it's actually been quite a good thing. It's given me a bit of a kick up the arse and say, look, you need to look after yourself now, mate. You're not as young as you used to be. There's only so much Just For Men beard dye you can use before you genuinely are getting older. So there, yeah.
If only there was some sort of podcast episode where they talk about how much water to drink and hydration.
Exactly.
Perhaps episode 20 of the November Foxtrot podcast.
Me, mind blown. So yeah, that was a high. But then I don't know. I just didn't think, because a lot of people say it's the rich man's disease or the king's disease or something like that, where it's all rich foods and stuff. And I was sort of racking my brains like, well, I can't drink Sunday through Thursday because of my work. You know, I can't have any drink at all. Don't eat steaks every night and stuff like that. So the only thing I can put it down to is overweight, not drinking enough water. On events, I do drink lots of water. That's all I have in my Camelbacks and that. But at home, terrible. Diet Cokes, cup of tea, cup of coffee. Water? Nah, don't drink water. Fish make love in it, not drinking water. So yeah, lesson learned for me.
Rich says, did you have blood tests? We're going to turn this into a group medical now. Like,
here we go. No, I didn't have blood tests. From what the doctor said and the photographs I showed him on the phone call that I had to upload, he said, yeah, mate, let's get out all day long. So yeah, this 100% now. I'm so happy I've got my toe back.
Join the gout gang.
Woo! So yeah, all good. But yeah, anyway, aside from that, the event itself was absolutely fantastic. You know, the gunman guys and girls, Jade obviously putting on a great show and some of her LARPing skills once again. Very jealous of her running around with an RPG, actually. Very jealous of that. That was awesome. Just literally look around and see Jade there, like, I was like, wow, where did that come from? I want one of them. But yeah, that was great. It's fantastic.
That it was firing, or
I don't know if it fired. No, I don't think it fired a tag round. I think it was just like it was like one of them grenades, like the load grenades, where you just very similar to that. You just about 150 BBs just go. But it was like the CO2 that came out. It was like a proper like cloud. It was like, do it again.
Nice, cool.
Yeah, it was cool, mate. Yeah, great event. Like I said, great gameplay. Well hosted. You know, all fair play across both the teams. Mr. Brewer did come a cropper. I didn't see it, but I did feel terrible for him. So there's a lot of marshland, a lot of bogs as you go further out into the field. And obviously JTF being sneaky bastards that they are, sneaky through the bog. And I didn't hear the whole of the story, but the gist of what I got was Mr. Brewer took one step too many, thinking it was quite solid ground, and it was like disappearing up to his nipples, I think, in the bog. or he went down so far and just the rest of him just went forward, splat into the bog. It was covered. Absolutely caked in it. Kit was drenched all weekend. Had to change up some spare gear he had. So yeah, I did feel for the guy.
Predator, it's like the right. We've got to hide from the thermal vision.
Yeah. Literally, picture Arnie there wrapping himself up in that fallen oak tree branches and roots, and that was essentially Mr. Brewer. I think exactly the look he was going for. Yeah. To be fair, so really getting involved with the LARPing and the camouflage side of things. If he was getting chased by predators, which he wasn't.
He said waist deep and elbow deep in nice bog water. I bet that smelled lovely.
Oh yeah. Who's that? That's Mike Brewer. Here he comes.
Start calling him Pete.
Pete. I like that. I have to remember that one. So yeah, great event. Once again, it was fantastic. You know, I can't wait for the next one. I think there's some dates being thrown around towards the end of January.
I was going to say there's I think it's the 28th, 29th of January, because I'm hoping to get onto the next one.
Yeah, so that's be the next Octo event, which I believe is going to be hosted at Battle Lakes, which is just outside of Tunbridge Wells, and it's going to be a nice brisk one as well, being at the end of January. Ooh, definitely need winter booties for that one.
Get my sleep.
And I have to get Mr. Brewer a full all-in-one Gore-Tex onesie. Because there's lakes here at Battle Lakes, never mind bogs. So, yeah, but it was good. Fantastic event. Yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it.
Were there many structures at this site? You said that there's a few sort of bits and pieces of plane. Is it?
They have. As you left the safe zone, you actually got a designated built discotheque bar, as you would do. Why wouldn't you? All power running to it. There's actual bars, sofas, that in there. So that was like one of the main structures there. If you go out further into the field, I mean, it is set up for sort of skirmishing and sort of like sort of ground wars, lots of barricades like dotted about that people can advance and sort of retreat from on the main plateau. There's a little like mission. There's like a missile silo, which is sort of like a couple of huts, and they've actually gone out the way to make them good use of traffic cones sprayed up to look like warheads coming out the ground, and like a framework and that all put in. That looked pretty cool. But yeah, compared to the alpha site, there's a lot more structures. Whether the alpha site's been going a lot longer, I'm guessing it has, being the alpha site. So I think there's a lot of work to be done there. I know there was a guy building some stuff whilst we were there, just outside the safe zone, some bits and bobs. So yeah, I think there's bits to be done there. But it's so up and down and traversing, undulating ground, peaks and valleys. You've got a lot of natural cover there as well. Like the tall pine trees and that, they're all clustered together. There's good movement through them. It's great for sniping. It's great. It's a great all-round site, really. I wouldn't sort of pigeonhole it as like a woodland site, which is no good for snipers because the bushes and that are too high or anything. It's really good. Like the bracken is perfect for sniping and stuff like that. Just poking your head up and getting a couple of shots off. Yeah, so genuinely, I think it could do with a few more structures, or maybe like a main sort of town section with a few big structures, couple of big buildings, maybe. But I wouldn't want to go too mad there because it's a really nice woodland site. So I wouldn't want to take away from the fact that it's actually a woodland site with some good distance engagements you can get going. There's a nice little perimeter road. Maybe they could develop the perimeter roads a bit more. Maybe a couple of like purpose-built sort of intersections with some pillboxes or a barricade or something, or
you need a big concrete bunker, don't you? If it's going to be
like a checkpoint,
Endor
concrete bunker, that'd be cool. Yeah, you've got the hillsides to do it. You could easily put some sort of like proper machine gun pits in on a couple of the slopes. That would be cool. But yeah, great site, mate. Fantastic site. So I look forward to going back there one day.
Sorry, Oxo 8 have just jumped in. They lost 2 JTF all weekend.
Oh dear, maybe they made their way over to the alpha site. Very quiet, isn't it?
I just love the fact that there's some sort of, you've got the main game going on. There's just 2 guys literally like they're playing Survivor, just laying out on the mud, just like, don't move, we're going to sink.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, good God.
Oxo said they finally rolled in from the bogs at Entex.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me at all. They were dangerous, those bogs. Especially when you got the foot in, it's like, I was like, oh, I got my shoe back as well. Result. Yeah, no, it's good, mate. Kit wise,
nothing worse
I
took that stealthy approach, and it's just.
That's it, yeah. Oh fuck! But I took the Condor light gunner rig, the OD green one, which I've not used for a couple of years now. So it's nice to dust that off again, and took that out and. Used the Cyma Blue Edition MP5 for the Friday. Absolutely flawless, awesome bit of kit. The 249 performed well. Had a little feeding issue to start with, but I gave a bit of jiggery pokery to the feed spring as it went into the riff itself, and then she just sort of kicked into life. So whether I've overfilled it or not, I don't know. But it seems to be the more I started to fire it, the better it performed.
Yeah.
So at first it was full to the brim, and I was firing it. It's going. So I give it a good old wiggle. Then it started really, it's good some. Yeah. So yeah, from then on in, it was so maybe I'm overfilling it too much, and it's sort of like the BBs are all fighting for position to get into the feed spring, mate. I don't know. God knows. I'm just guessing. So that performed well, and then obviously Big Toe sort of gave up on me. So Sunday morning, packed all my kit up, and then I used the bolt.
It sounds like a call sign, doesn't it? Oh, Big Toe.
Big Toe, yeah. Well, I was known as Short Stack. I got Richie Roo nicknamed me Short Stack, which I quite like that one. Yeah, I've heard worse. Trust me.
Better than Big Toe.
Yeah. Big Toe. I don't know what toe is in French. Grande something or other. But there we go.
I'll Google it.
I'll Google it. Yeah, you could shoehorn it into the angry French waiter. So yeah, and I used the Bolt, the Mark 12 Mod 1 DMR on the Sunday for a little bit of plinking, and that was great. Yeah, fantastic. Some really good range on it. So yeah, very happy. No kit failures as such over the course of the weekend, which is always good. I have the same on my 249. It kind of warms up. It's all good for the day. That's it, mate. Yeah, just takes a little bit of shaking, and then off you go. Happy days. Yeah, so it was all good, mate. All good. All good things apart from the toe. If I could have amputated my toe there and then, I would have done. But I couldn't. So I would have had no balance.
Oxo 8 have said, don't forget the DMZ. We'll post up pics on the Facebook page the next couple of weeks.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, DMZ. Oh, yeah, DMZ. That was quite cool. Actually, one of the tasks I actually really enjoyed. Me and Mr. Kettles, we were tasked with training a couple of DMZ troopers with checkpoint, manning a checkpoint and things you got to do and bits and bobs like that. And there was 4 JTF guys undercover being playing diplomats. Had to come up and they're trying to blag their way through the barricades and the checkpoint. Oh, fuck off. It was all good. It was great. It's brilliant. Great. It's a really great fun. It was a really good engagement. So yeah, no, yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it. It was good.
Nice.
You know.
Andy says you can change the spring feed tube to a tube very easily, and it stops that issue. Because it's the spring system gets a bit of dirt in there, and it knackers it.
Right. Okay.
And
I'll
the
have to
more
look
you
into
fire,
that.
the less dirt it makes it through as the dirt gets knocked off due to the movement.
Oh, right. So it's literally that then. All right. Smashing. Good man. Well, Andy Bobby's like the guru of support weapons, isn't he? So
yeah.
Could have told me sooner.
Is anyone else having problems with Facebook? I know we've had a few people transition from Facebook to YouTube. It says it's still running on Facebook, and I've just checked. I don't seem to be having any problems. But if anyone could let me know.
Yeah, I don't know. So. What connectivity issues with it, or is it not displaying?
No, I've just literally Facebook feed is playing up from Liz, so not sure what's going on.
All right, it's showing on. It's weird watching me talking to me. It's very bizarre.
So
we're on. We're still on.
Mike says okay here on FaceTube. So thanks, Mike. That's the most useless answer.
You book. Thanks, Pete.
What sort of kit did you take camping wise?
So Dutch Army. And I think I made a bit of a boo-boo with that one because I bought two, didn't I? But I only fab sealed one of them, and I think I took the one I didn't fab seal. I'm not sure because I had a little bit of condensation on the inside of the tent. We did have a bit of rain, so what we did do was rig up a couple of tarps a bit higher up, so it left the air circulate over the top of the canvas. But I had the tarp over the top of there, so yeah, probably my fault there. I think I grabbed the wrong Dutch tent. Should have took the other one, but I didn't. So yeah, Dutch Army tent. Absolutely fabulous. Other than that, nice and warm, and it's so dark in there. So especially if the summer months, if you decided to use it, then it's so dark, it's like blackout. And it's just like, oh, this is fucking wicked. This is lovely. So yeah, got my head down in there. I took my Dutch Army Thermarest sleep mat. I took my Mylar reflective mat, very thin. Snug Pack Base Camp Extreme, and my bivvy bag, and my cheeky little carp fishing pillow. The peach skin one. So yeah, nice and comfortable. And then we had a little fire pit, little fold-away fire pit, which I've got. There's a couple of pictures on our Facebook actually. You can see it in there. And that folds away into like a little sort of A4 bag, and it just all like concertinas out. Nice fire pit, so we barbecue grilled on there. As soon as that was done, took the grill off. We'll give it a wire brush down, took that off, and then just loading logs in there to keep us warm through the evening. And that was it. Yeah, perfect. All good, mate. Yeah, quite. Obviously, because it's a Octo event, you get your stand down time at about 5 p.m. onwards, so you can afford to take a few luxuries. And the car park is literally the other side of the. You got the car park, a wooden fence, and then you've got the camping area. So you can literally just handball stuff over the fence into the camping area and walk around, and then set up. So there's no yomping miles or anything like that with your kit. So yeah, really nice. So yeah, took a little fold-out poo chair with me, obviously. Yeah, all good. all very civilized. Yeah.
Nice. Nick's asked, are you getting the Dutch Army tent boots?
Ooh, are they like the bivvy slippers, or is that a piss take? Because I've got lots of Dutch Army stuff. Because I have got bivvy sleepers I use for carp fishing, and I've got the Arctic booties as well, the British Army Arctic booties, which we talked about on cold weather episode, I think. And they are actually snug as bugs and rugs. The old feet when you got them booties on over there somewhere.
Sorry, I'm just reading out. Harry's just dropped us a message. He says, Mike, how's the soldering iron? It's good. By the way, my current harebrained project, I'm building a downed MQ-9 UAV surveillance Reaper drone prop. Fair enough, mate.
Love to see his back garden, those spaces. Is that to scale? Or is that quite a small UAV drone thing?
I don't know. He says one team to set it to self-destruct and the other team to recover the surveillance data.
I'm guessing the Reaper drones, no, they're big, aren't they? They're like the big bulbous.
That's quite a large, like.
They've got the big cone front, isn't it? Like the big bowl, like teardrop front.
I think so.
Bit.
Yeah.
It's actually, Jesus Christ. Go on, Harry.
I've turned my soldering iron on.
Bumped into a few guys. Actually, having said that, bumped into a few guys at the show. So, Paulus Wales, he was there. He said, first thing he said to me, he said, I don't know why Mike can't pronounce my name. It's not hard. I said, well, I know that, Phil.
Yeah.
But But yeah, so it's nice to meet Paul, Barry Gunn, and his son Oakley. Great to meet them as well, and obviously some of the usual boys, Mr. Brewer or Pete, as he's now known, hence the mic.
Good, Bob.
All good fun.
Harry says
3
it's
meter
a 3 meter wingspan.
Bloody hell!
Big.
Fair play.
That'd be wicked, though.
Well, yeah, it goes without saying, doesn't it? Really, yeah. What a prop. Awesome. So that's I think that's me covered now. I've done 25 minutes of my nonsense.
Well, you just quickly, because there was one of the things in the show doc that you said about bags. You prefer a separate backpack.
Oh yes, so I did go against my mantra of not having a mollied backpack onto my plate carrier, and I actually mollied my OD Green Viper 30 litre, 25 litre pack onto mine purely to hold my Camelback, because I've got no sort of standard OD Green Viper Camelback pouch, if you like. I've only got that bag, so I chucked that on there purely for the Camelback to go in, and then you'll sort of end up, chuck a spare one of them in there, one of there, and there. And lucky enough, obviously, Mr. Kettle's with me as well, so it's like, oh mate, can you just pass me that out of there? Can you pass me that out of there? And I just think it just sort of sealed it for me to say that's why it's a massive ball ache. If you haven't got someone with you to have to take all that fucking rig off to get the simplest of things out of your pack, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then have to put it all back on again. So that's why I like the free running backpack. And like I said, the only reason it was on there is purely because I was running a hydration straw up to me front. But other than that, yeah, it was cool. But it is a ball ache if you've got other stuff in there. So don't do it. Don't put other things in there.
Actually, Bob sent us a pretty wicked video. I could just find it quickly of the bag that's like Velcroed on.
Oh, has that arrived?
I don't know if it's arrived. No, I've not seen that. I saw in the chat. It's the AMAP 3 Assault Pack, which I believe you basically it attaches to the back.
Oh yes, yes.
It's got.
It's good.
I'm back. Sorry, I was trying to find the link, and there's a little video that he sent us, but unfortunately, it's got loads of guns in the video, and I can't then put it on here because of YouTube's rules. And stuff like that.
Yes, of course. It's left Israel this morning. Oh, good stuff.
Yeah, nice. Cool.
That's why I use webbing in a canteen. Fuck you, fresh meat. That's just for you, Wayne. Just
especially
for you.
when you're busy doing a recon.
Motherfuckers, honestly. We get ganged up on here. Come on, lads. Back me up.
Rage is just going to come and beat me in a second. Right, cool. So we were challenged last week. £300 budget for MilSim stuff. Hang on. Sorry, Rage just chipped in. I recently bought a direct action Dragon Egg backpack, 25 litre laser cut molly, very modular. Would say better than a 511 Rush day pack.
Oh, mate, I'll have to have a look at it. What's that called again?
I'll have a little Google later.
Oh, yeah. He always picks up little peaches like that, Rage. Like little fucking nuggets of goodness. Very jealous.
See if I can find it quick.
I'm just loading up my my shopping list.
So Rage just said, fresh meat, what part of America do you live in?
Yeah. Don't tell him, Wayne, he'll be on you.
Yeah. So we were challenged last week to do a £300 MilSim kit. So we excluded anything that would be your kind of basic stuff that you would expect to have. So airsoft rifle, ammunition, all of that sort of gubbins. Your actual
your battle gear, your skirmish day event sort of kit. You'd have a webbing set or a plate carrier or whatever it would be, and all your bells and whistles that would go along with that. That's sort of like null and void. This is like your extras among that for a MilSim, like to stay overnight, things like that. You know, shelters and bivvies and things like that. That's what we're sort of concentrated on. Fucking canteen. And that's his teammate saying that.
Yeah. So right. So what did you come out at? What was your total? Let's just run. I tell you what. Let's run through the list quickly first. So we're not going to talk about money
as such to start with, or costings. We're just going to say what we've got.
Yeah, I was just going to run through what the list is that we actually costed up, just to.
Oh, okay, go on.
So we had a Bergen, Basher poles. That's 2 Basher poles. Paracord. How much Paracord did you include?
15 meters. I put thereabouts.
Oh, I had 100 meters.
Really?
Yeah, 100 meters of Paracord. Sleeping bag, bivvy bag, roll mat, a cooker or some sort of cook system, mess tins, spork, head torch, handheld torch, and a first aid kit.
Which would be, we'd say that as a to take part in an overnight event, that would be your sort of minimum. You don't necessarily have to have a power bank. You could turn your phone off and turn it on every hour or so and check any messages and things like that. Or do you know what I mean? It's not a necessity to have some things that are considered luxuries. You know, you could get by with this list, basically. That's what we're sort of saying.
So the first question I've got for you, Lance, is what quality of kit did you include?
What quality?
So did you look down the list of kit and go, right, I'm going to get good quality, you know, stuff that's going to last from day dot?
Yeah, I suppose in a way I did, but then I've sort of got kit in the shopping list there that I've got myself, which I've used all the time. Ex surplus or issued kit that's not been used, so it'd be like the grade Super Plus or A Plus or 1, and stuff like that. I've scrimped on a couple of bits. I'd say no, because again, it's stuff I've tried and tested, and it's worked. The only thing that I've never tried before, because I wasn't able to find the torch which I've got, so I just had to choose one which was around the same sort of price bracket, which was £17.88 for a handheld torch. It's not the one that I have, which I've had for 5 years, and it's never let me down. It's got rechargeable batteries, not the ones that you can leave in and charge up. You have to take the battery out and charge it in like a vape sort of battery size.
Yeah.
So that was the only thing I sort of dipped out on, really. Like I said, same sort of price range. Don't know if it's any good or not. I'm not going to be buying it. It's purely an exercise, isn't it? So that's the only thing I've got on my hands. I would say can't guarantee that. But yeah, I don't think I've scrimped on anything or had to surrender other stuff for quality of something else. I think it's all, yeah, it's going to do your turn nicely.
Yeah. See, I went down the route of sleeping bag. You need a good quality sleeping bag because you don't want to be relying on a shit sleeping bag. The rest of it, I generally went for cheaper items on the basis that you might decide MilSim's not for you. So it's kind of the ability to do a MilSim whilst on a budget. And then also, you know, because when you're out and about, you have a look at other people's kit and you're like, oh, I like that. That's clever. I like that. Yeah, that's a bit of me. So I kind of went down the route of buying stuff that fundamentally, absolute lowest price, you can do a MilSim with this kit. Some of it I've bought, some of it I haven't. So please don't take this list as being go and buy this stuff. That's the just caveat I wanted to say, basically.
The list is a general list of what you'd need. Whether it's the items contained within that list is what you want to get. That's entirely up to you. You know, that's personal preference. You know, you can a sleeping bag. There's a rabbit hole of sleeping bags. You can go down to choose what you want to choose. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, we'll go from there.
So, what did you come out at? What was your price?
So in total, I did remove a couple of items because I was a bit naughty. I chose them after I'd sent you the list of what we had to work.
He gave me a list, and then we were
I
just
had a Gore-Tex jacket and a softie in there as well. So I came out at a grand total. Now, this is the other question I had. So it was I know it was 300 quid, Mr. Badger challenged us to. Now, was that 300 quid including postage, or was that £300 worth of material of items?
Mine includes postage as well.
Right, okay, so let's say including postage, right? So, okay. So I came out at a grand total, including postage, of £274.31. So that was £252.84 worth of kit and £21.47 worth of postage from a very well-known auction site. Yes. Rhymes
with Shmeebay.
It does rhyme with Shmeebay. Yeah.
So mine depends. Oh, I'm going to show you. Just bring this up.
Silly man.
So I did a little spreadsheet. Mine
you would, wouldn't you? You would.
Exactly.
Well, I'm going to reference my bloody phone, all right?
Mine depends on which camouflage option you go down. So if you go down a multicam, OD or DPM, that's the only kind of real split in some of this kit. But I had a range between £229.77 at the cheapest and £278.80 at the most expensive. And I also got an extra 85 metres of paracord.
Got a lot of tarps to put up.
Yeah. So let's start off with the Bergen. So in terms of the Bergen, what sort did you go down for that one?
So for the Bergen, I got a grade 1. So it's either like hardly been used or it's been an issued and not used bit of kit. So it's a grade 1, 120-meter long back. Couldn't find any short backs, so I had to go over long convoluted. Usual DPM, Woodland DPM Bergen, £45, but that had a £9.99 delivery charge on it. So you're looking at 55 quid. Again, I don't think that's bad for a grade A or super grade Bergen, because that is literally indestructible, not even been used. I don't even know if I can show you. I mean, they're looking at the picture of it. I mean,
is it that one by any chance? Because I had the same one.
That is the kit. Yeah. So there you go. So if you can see that on my, it's in smashing nick. I mean, it literally, it's not got a blemish on it. So if you can find one like that in that sort of condition at that price, then yeah, you're laughing really. So that was my Bergen. So that was the initial. So we've got the pack covered now of everything all the kit's going to go into.
See, mine was exactly the same. So I had that Bergen. If you wanted to go for multicam, I was finding that they were a lot more expensive. So you may be looking 20, 30, 40 pound more expensive for a decent quality multicam.
But then that's
Bergen.
the thing. So you can get a multicam one for like 90 quid to 100 quid. But then if you do dig a bit more, if you're happy to do it, you could get a Woodland DPM one which has been tailored for about 90 to 100 quid. So you'll get the 3 utility pouches. They'll remove the one sort of mess tin size pouch off the front. You'll have 3 utility pouches. You'll have the poncho roll, and you're probably looking about 100 to 120 quid for one of them. But I mean, obviously for a multicam or an MTP one, you could add another 90 onto that. You look at the 190s, 200s almost for it. So it depends what you want to do.
Yeah, I mean, one point as well is that you don't necessarily have to have a multicam Bergen. A lot of the events I've ever been to haven't really required it.
No, I haven't got one, so no, I won't be taking one.
No. I mean, if you ever needed to, you can get away with like a multicam cover over a DPM Bergen.
Yeah, multicam. Yeah, the elasticated covers, or even a multicam poncho. Just wrap it around or something like that. If they're that anal about it, I can't see them having a bit of problem.
No. What basher? What basher you go for?
Standard, mate. British Army DPM basher, $29.99, $3.99 delivery, brand new.
I went for. I found a basher BTP MTP, which I don't really know, to be fair, what brand it is. It doesn't look like the most expensive, and it was a little bit rusty and stuff. But I managed to get that for £19, plus £4.20 postage. So
is that used? Is it?
That is. I'll show you. I can bring it up on screen if I can. Here's me. I've got all my clever links, but I can't freaking find it. There we go. This is the one I found.
Basher shirt, sheet, MTP style, camping top, sheet, baby. Right, full bunches.
So it's not the snazziest, but I mean, you've got like spots of rust on them, so they're definitely not new.
I don't know if that's British. I don't know if that's Army. I don't think that's an Army issue one.
No, well, I couldn't tell. It didn't look like it was.
Maybe. I don't know. It looks... The pattern looks a bit odd.
Yeah. But then it also looks like it comes in the sort of spare surplus that you would expect.
Yeah.
So, not sure on that one. But yeah, fundamentally, if you just give it a go for a night, you want to have a go,
Yeah, I suppose so, yeah.
See well. But I would suggest if you can find better, then go for it. Basically.
Don't get that one I chose, basically.
Yeah.
This is shit.
Basher poles.
Yeah, basher poles. Mine is the standard. You can get them. I mean, basher poles are basher poles. You can get Combat UK do them. Trying to think what else to them. You can get them at bugger. Survival Aids. Is it Survival Aids? Yes, it is.
Yep.
Survival Aids do them. £16.25 free postage. Your telescopic basher pole. Nothing special about them at all.
Are they combat ones? Did you say?
I don't know who these are made by, mate. To be honest with you.
Because I found the combat ones for £14.90 for 2.
Times 2 military extending bivvy pole, olive green extending 2 section 1 million poles. And that's from Survival Gear UK, which I've used before actually. Because it's telling me see your items you've already purchased. Survival Gear UK. That's on Fleabay. If you want to have a look at that. But you can, like I said, you can get olive green Combat UK extendable 2 sets for $8.99 here. Wow, didn't even see that.
Nice, that's a good saving.
$8.99. carry bag. I was a camo net carry bag. Sorry, my bad. So yeah,
yeah, camo net carry bag and 2 basher poles.
I thought it was a carry bag for the basher poles to go. It's like they're £15 plus £9 for the carry bag. I was like, what? I was like, but it's for a massive camo net to go in.
Gotcha.
So yeah, basher poles, all good.
Cool. Yeah.
What about your sleeping bag, mate? Oh, paracord.
Yeah, we'll do the paracord quick.
Paracord is paracord. I got a 15-meter round, 15-meter drum of paracord, which is a 3.5 mil for $5.97 in OD green.
Yeah, mine's about the same. Really. I think mine was £9 for 100 meters, but it's 3 mil.
That's good though, considering I spent nearly £6 for 15 meters. You spent £9.
Yeah, but it's a cheaper paracord. I mean, I do find with some of the paracords when you cut them, some fray a lot quicker than others.
Yeah, you definitely got to melt the ends. As soon as you cut paracord, always have your lighter on you to melt the ends, even if you're not going to use it if it's still on the roll, because eventually it will go. You know.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but I've had some that fray within the split second between cutting and then melting it. Like
I've had some as well. Halfway down the line, you get a little kink in it. You'll get a bit of the white in the thread come out. It's just like, oh fuck's sake, what shit.
Yeah.
So there we go.
So sleeping bag, yeah, I think I went for a snug pack along a basis of that's probably the most important thing on our list.
Comfort wise, I'd say
pack navigator. So the other thing as well, just got to say, is I went for a new sleeping bag because I figured if there was anything you were going to get up and close and personal with, it was going to be a sleeping bag. And whilst second-hand sleeping bags can be all right, they can also not be all right.
Yeah, it could have been all sorts of goings on in there, couldn't they?
Yeah. So I went with this one. So this was the Snug Pack Navigator Square. I went for a square just because it's slightly more comfortable. 3-season sleeping bag. Apparently goes down to -2.
Nice.
It was only £34.95.
Really? Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah.
I went with the one I've got, which is the Snug Pack Sleeper Extreme sleeping bag, olive green, £46.50. Again, Fleabay. And that will go down to comfort zone of -7 and extremes down to -12. So you can use it as a summer bag, I'm guessing, just leave it unzipped or whatnot. Yeah, but like I said, I've got it, so I can say it's a great bit of kit. And if you get the jungle bag, the jungle blanket as well, the jungle bag, it's just chuck inside that as an extra bit of padding more than anything. It's super duper nice and comfortable. So yeah, and that's one I used. That's one I used back in March for the Octo one down at Fulcum, I believe, and it was down to -6 overnight. And I was just in a basher, exposed either ends, lovely and toasty. So yeah, highly recommend the old Snug Pack Sleeper Extreme. That's the one I've got. That's what I use.
Yeah,
£46.
That was interesting because that was the only item on the list I genuinely went right. It's got to be a Snug Pack. I already knew in my head. Yeah. It's got to be something that.
Well, that's what I was exactly the same as that. Yeah, because I thought, right, that's it. I was going to put the same one that I've got in there because I can sort of pretty much guarantee that one happily too.
Yeah, I was quite surprised at the price though. I found. I mean, I know it's on eBay, but £35 for a fairly decent sleeping bag. -2 is the comfort rating on that one. -7, I think, is the extreme low temperature.
Go down to yeah. It's not bad. You know, that'll do you for a majority of the year over in the UK. I'm guessing. It's bloody cold today. Oh, the old airloft's a bit brisk.
Nice, yeah.
Gee whizzer.
Andy said he went with the -21. Summer sleeping is fun.
Cool, I bet. I can talk about dehydrating.
Doesn't have to like get out of the sleeping bag in the morning. They just like roll him out like a tube of toothpaste.
That's it, yeah.
See, James C says, did you not think of suggesting surplus army issue sleeping bags? So I did. I went on Prepper's Shop to have a look at their sort of stock, and I was finding interestingly that some of their surplus sleeping bags are actually more expensive than a brand new Snug Pack one.
Yeah.
Now, again, so you're paying at that point, you're paying more for a second-hand sleeping bag. Now, whilst it's obviously mil spec, I don't know. I find Snug Pack to be a perfectly reliable brand. You know, I have had one that's gone on me, but that, to be fair, has had maybe 8 years of fairly rigorous use.
I mean, I've had a couple of ex-army bags, and they've never failed me, quite comfortable. I've had the medium weight, the British Army medium weight, and I've had the British Army Arctic bag, which I've still got. Nothing wrong with them at all. The only thing that sort of scared me away from Snugpak was the price of them. And it weren't until obviously I saw that one for, because I was talking to my brother-in-law who's ex-army, and he said, "Yeah, the Snugpak makes a wicked bag. We all use them, blah blah blah." He said the price tag's quite hefty. He said, but it's perfect bit of kit. And I looked at it and I thought, "Oh fucking Christ, there's one here for like 50 quid." I said, "You know, take the plunge." Had a go of it. He said, "I've never looked back since. You know, it's a great bit of kit." But there's absolutely nothing wrong with a surplus bag. I've used one for years. I still use them for camping, like family camp. Mrs. used the Arctic bag for camping. I've got the medium weight one for the summer for camping and that. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. You can get a cheap British Army X issue one, or even a Dutch Army issue one. They're perfect. Nothing wrong with them. Just try and steer away from the grade 2s and things like that. Try and get the grade 1 or the super grade plus that's been like issued, just been stored. You know what I mean? So you might have that musty smell about it, but it's been issued kit, but it's not been used and stuff like that. So yeah, it's always keep an eye out for stuff. You get some good deals out there.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I did want to point out as well is that shopping online, you're going to pay a premium for that anyway. You know, there is no harm in just literally nipping down to your local surplus shop and having a chat with them.
Definitely, yeah, because they can always get your stuff in.
Cheaper. So, sorry, Harry's just said rigorous use in a sleeping bag. Too much information. I just mean I use it a lot. For fuck's sake.
We're not here to judge, mate. All right, what you do.
Nick says Snugpak will compress and pack better than an issue Arctic bag.
Yeah, and that's it. And again, we did speak about it when we covered sleeping bags previously, Nick, with regards to the technology used nowadays compared to what was available in the bags that I've got. I mean, obviously, the Arctic bag I've got, the ex-British Army issue, is probably got to be 20 years old at least. So, you know, fibres, different methods of doing things, different stitches, different threads have come along, different weaves of the materials come a long way since, so they can afford to reduce the profile of the bag but still maintain that insulation. So, yeah, a newer bag is going to condense down a lot better. But then any bag I get, I'll fuck the compression sack off straight away anyhow. So a brand new bag all comes compressed like that. It's like, right, get rid of that, hang that up. There we go.
I mean, you can spend hundreds of pounds on sleeping bags. I mean, you obviously get the down-filled sleeping bags and stuff that.
Oh yeah,
you know, I've got a friend at work who he used to do a lot of mountain rescue stuff, and sort of all the kit that all the kit he has is all super lightweight. You know, it's designed for backpacking, but on the basis that they're going to potentially be bringing somebody back with them in a stretcher, so they don't want to be carrying loads of weight.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you can spend loads on a sleeping bag, but ultimately, you know, if you're just bedding down overnight in a forest, or somewhere like that, you know, you don't
like
need
you
to
say,
spend that much.
It depends how far you want to go with it. If you're going to use it for extreme backpacking and go into really extreme environments, then yeah, you do want to invest in one that's like a couple of 300 quid, maybe more. I don't know. But if it's for airsoft for the weekend in November, and you know, if worst comes to the worst, you know, you've got your car there. You know, I know you don't want to do that, and we always try and steer people away from doing it. But at the end of the day, you've got to look after number one. If you're too cold and you can't cope with it being that cold, then there's no good just fucking sitting there shivering all night. You know, get out of there. But at the same time, you know, pack accordingly.
Yeah.
Mindset.
I'm gonna sleep in my car.
Mindset. That's what it's all about.
It's all about the mindset.
It is. You know it.
I'll tell you what. There's a new. What was it? I think it's the Marines or Commandos. There's a new advert for the British Commandos. That's like new equipment, new tactics or something like that, but same mindset. And I was like, podcast.
Mindset.
I mean, to clarify, I'm not in any way comparing us to the Commandos. Like, it was just purely the mindset thing. I just made me chuckle.
We're not doing that now, no.
What?
Comparing ourselves to the Commando.
No. Sorry. We're at no point of comparing ourselves to the Commandos. Just to clarify,
no, absolutely not. Yeah. Couch Commandos.
Angry,
Couch Commandos, maybe.
Angry person start commenting on our YouTube videos. It'll be a nightmare. Harry says down versus synthetic, pros and cons, e.g. getting damp versus warmth versus pack down size. Harry, I'm going to direct you to our previous podcast episode where we actually went through sleeping systems while Lance watches a video.
No, it wasn't actually. It was a Sky News flash. I thought I'd turn the sound off my phone. I do apologise for my boo-boo.
I'm very quickly just trying to find the sleeping bag episode.
Down's a ball like if you get that wet, it takes it's a ball ache to get it all dry and that again. So obviously synthetic's easier to look after. I think you can wash it as well easier than a down bag.
Episode 16, Harry. We kind of discussed sleeping bags a bit there as well. So
Mike next door want you off their Wi-Fi. Can you turn off our Wi-Fi, Mike? We're trying to stream Downton Abbey.
I will be sorting the Wi-Fi out. It just takes a little bit longer than I thought. It's just going to be a recurring joke on the podcast. Is every once in a while I just freeze.
Well, where did we call you? We're digressing now. Where did we get to?
Yeah.
We've done
bivy bags next. What do you get on the bivy bag?
So I got the NTP Gore-Tex bivy bag, British Army issue, surplus, grade 1, issued but not used. £34.95 with a £3.50 delivery charge. Do you know what I mean?
See, that's quite good. I went
so
for
it's 39 quid all in, pretty much.
Yeah, mine was a British Army Gore-Tex bivy bag, green OD, grade 1, but mine was £37.
Okay, yeah, no, it's not bad. Mine's obviously, is that free delivery as well?
Yeah, free delivery.
Oh, yeah, so you're better on the price than me. But I got the MT. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's the OD green, DPM, MT, whatever.
Yeah.
It's as long as it's a Gore-Tex waterproof cover for your DOS bag, then happy days. So, yeah.
So Nick says he thought Mike was playing red light, green light. Oh, how to keep the podcast relevant.
Exactamundo.
What about roll mat? What you got on the roll mat?
So the roll mat, yeah, I went for the one I used to have, which is the Highlander Z mat. Available from the Highlands and other places.
Fair enough.
So yeah, Highland Z mat, DPM Forest Camo. Got SAS after that for some reason. $19.99 with a $3.99 delivery charge. So there we go. That's the,
that's the one that does it. Yeah, it sort of folds up.
So it's the concertina's up. Yeah, so the folding. Yeah, that's
so it's
pretty
like
much
that.
it. Yeah, it's like that. But the Woodland DPM. Yeah, there we go. That's the kitty there.
Cool.
And I found that $19.99 with £4 delivery.
Cool. So yeah,
so there we go. That's better there. Is that Amazon?
Yeah, £4 delivery on Amazon though.
Oh.
So I went for just whatever roll mat I could find that was cheap.
Wow.
So I went for
I didn't see because I've never used one like that. I did see them, but even the British Army issue ones that are similar to that, I've never used one of them, so I couldn't say if it was any good or not.
I used to use one of these. Found it to be, it was okay. The only thing with these sorts of roll mats is they do fuck's sake. They do generally tend to curl up on themselves after a while. So you don't get that it doesn't just lay flat, which I'm imagining your Z mat would. Yeah,
Z mat's cool. And obviously, it's a kneeling pad, all the sort of things. You can sort of manipulate it. You can have it all the way out, or you can have it half out, so you've got like the top half of your body double padded, if you like. Like Andy said there, do you guys put the mat inside the bivvy? Yeah, absolutely, mate. So inside your bivvy bag, it'll be, I put my Mylar blanket, I put my self-inflating mat, and then a DOS bag over the top, and it all stays within the bivvy bag, so you're not rolling off it in the night, and blah, blah, blah. I mean, if you're in the Dutch Army tent, you can sort of get away with not putting it in there, because you've only got sort of that much sort of space either side of you, so you're not going to roll too far. But yeah, ideally, mate, it's a good habit to get into. Keep it all inside that bivvy bag, especially if you're sleeping under a basher on the forest floor. Your bivvy bag can get gipping in mud and leaves, litter and fucking wet and stuff like that. But keeping all your other kit inside it nice and dry. So yeah, get into that habit, mate. Cocoon yourself inside the bivvy bag with all your bits and bobs.
James C says the Army issue ones are a bitch, although I'm looking to get a German Army folding sleeping mat.
Yeah, got one of them, mate. The German Army one's really good, really nice. And also, if you're going to go with the German Army sleeping mat, the folding one, James, suggest getting the German infantry, German Army infantry ground sheet, the half ground sheet. Indestructible, great bit of kit. Yeah, highly recommend one of them. They're all good.
Yeah. Good old German infantry.
German infantry. Yeah, have you never heard of them? No, very, very special.
So here's a bit of deviation I'm anticipating. Is what did you go for on a cooker?
Hang on, I've forgotten.
Because I imagine you've gone with a little hex burner. Yeah,
do you know what? Absolutely right, mate. So I went with the British Army issue, the Dragon Fuel, BCB. I found this, right? This is I thought this personally was an absolute steal, and I was actually tempted to buy it genuinely for myself, but I've already got what's on this picture. $11.99, free 3-day postage, so no postage charge. So you get the BCB burner, 2 mess tins and a load of fuel gels as well for $11.99. So again, that goes back to my thing of if I use all my fuel gel tablets up, you know, I can use any solid fuel. I could use some coal. I could use cotton wool, swiped in a bit of Vaseline. Great fire starter, that is. Chuck that in there. Get a load of sticks on the top. Don't raise your eyebrows with Vaseline. Just stuff it, all right? But yeah, you can, and then that's not then redundant. You know, you can still use that little frame for heating your mess tins up, blah, 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 just using different fuels. And that's why I sort of steered away from a gas burner purely for that, for that very reason.
Yeah. See, I went with gas on the principle. I know we sort of discussed this loosely on the last episode. I used gas when I sort of started, and for me, it was like the simplest system that I could just, you get on the ground, you've got your gas thing, you just turn it on, and it's fairly quick and instant, and you don't have to like faff about with it. So you had the Vango compact camping gas stove for £16. To be fair,
they are great. Don't get me wrong, they are good.
To be fair as well, I also included in that a gas can as well. So I had a gas can in there for £3. But the thing that got me on that, actually, did I include that? No, blimey, I didn't. Sorry, I've made a mistake on here. I didn't realise it was £4 postage. So you're paying more for postage than you are for the actual thing.
Yeah, when it comes to gas cans, you're either better off to get them straight from Millets, or if you're going to get it, buy a bulk order. Like if there's 2 or 3 or 4 of you, even in a team, especially like Amazon and that, you can get sort of like 12, 15, 18 cans for sort of 60 odd quid and just divvy them up between you. It works out a lot cheaper. Me and Dan have done it a couple of times with some the Coleman X series cold weather sort of gases and stuff like that. We've ordered like 12 or 6 between the 2 of us, rather than just getting like, I need 1 can this week. It works out being a lot more expensive.
You can get 10 self-heating pouches for £10 on eBay. I thought that was a good buy. I'm thinking it was going to say. Yeah, the self-heating ones are good.
For heating your rations. I thought you were talking about the bloody hand warmers then for a minute.
No, I'm assuming I might be wrong, but I'm assuming he means like the pouches where you pour the little bit of water in. So I've used those quite a few times. I know Prepper Shop were doing a deal on them a little while ago. I think they were about £1 each or something like that. They're the XMOD ones, and all I would say is be a little bit careful with quite how quickly they get hot. I've used them before. It was more sort of civilian ones, and you pour the little bit of water in, and it takes a little while to heat up.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be a really clever idea to take one of these. I thought it'd be a really clever idea to take one of these with me to hospital, with the theory that I could like heat up in the bag an MRE pouch when my wife was pregnant, because I didn't know quite if I was going to be fed because of the whole COVID stuff and bits and pieces. Used one of these ex-army ones, and fuck me, it literally, I poured the water in, it immediately went
fuck.
Yeah, I had steam billowing out of this thing. This was not the slow kind of build that I was expecting. So yeah,
don't use them in hospital rooms, basically.
And don't use them in hospital rooms. So learn your lesson there. James C says 1 or 2 lads burn their fingertips on a range day. Be very, very careful with them.
So what about your cook set itself, Mike? Then your little pots and pans sort of get up.
My mess tins. I mean, yeah, mess tins are a spork. Basically, I spent £9 on mess tins and £8.30 on a spork.
Fuck me, did you really spend £8.30 on a spork? How much was my one?
It was a titanium long-handled spork, and
see, cool. I've got a lightweight long-handled spork metal cutlery set, £6.34.
You didn't spend much more then. Much less, sorry.
Or the racing spoon, as Terry and Les and the like seem to refer to it as.
There you go, I got that one. Titanium spork, long-handled camping, outdoor lightweight. So was yours long-handled?
Mine is long-handled, and I also think it probably is titanium, but they just didn't care to mention it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Everybody knows it's titanium. We don't need to go down that road.
That's fine. We don't need to. Head torch. What head torch did you go for?
I went with the one which I always use nearly every day for work. And oddly enough, I don't take it on MilSim events with me, and I really should. It's only because it stays in my work bag, but I use it literally every day. And it is the one that we gave away in our... Oh, where's it gone? Oh, sorry, looking at the wrong area. It's the one that we gave away in our MilSim in a bag. So it is tried and tested. Like I said, I use it every day. Waterproof headlight, super bright head torch, LED, USB headlamp, camping, fishing, UK, $8.99, free postage. And there we go. There's all the gubbins. One of those little bad boys there. Whoa. Shows it underwater there. I've not tried that. Mind you, I nearly did last night.
When you're drowning.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I think it literally just says headlamp around the actual strap with like a little yellow sort of pinstripey thingies. That's probably a better image of the actual head torch itself. So yeah, I can highly recommend one of them. Fantastic bit of kit, really good.
I went with a. So one of the main features of the one I wanted, does yours have a red light on it?
It does, yeah, but you have to cycle through the first two white lights to get to the red. Whereas I've got another head torch, which is red aspect first, and then you can just hold it down and it turns back off. So you've not got to go through the white, bright, dim, flash, red.
Yeah.
You know. But it's not a biggie.
I went for this one, which was just, it had a red function on it. To be fair, I don't know if this is any good. I don't know if it's red first.
You didn't go for it for that reason. You went for it because it's called a tactical predator.
No, I went for it because I was like, I need a red head torch, basically.
Tactical predator.
But yeah, so this was $12.99. It comes in 2 colours. I can't vouch for it though. I've never used it. So
puce or periwinkle blue. Yeah, I didn't actually say how much mine was. Was it? Oh, $8.99. Sorry, yeah, free postage. So there we go. Wicked little bit.
I mean, I would say if you're going to get a head torch, try and get one with a red light on it. It's just going to make life a little bit easier.
It is, yeah. But, you know, for sorting admin out of your tent at night time or whatever like that. Obviously, as a dead light for night games and things like that going on, you may have always got it around. I never wear it on my head. I always leave it hanging around my neck. Just tuck it in and you can just pull it up when you need to. But yeah.
Just because Ray just pointed this out, so every time we discuss cooking, I say the same thing: Trangia for the win. That's a Trangia. So if anyone's interested,
they're
in
awesome.
That, you can get one for £13.50.
Awesome. Yeah. So don't know if I'd use one on the MilSim purely because you have to carry like a bottle of like methylated spirits and you know the risks that come with it. You know, but certainly for like for rage, we use like the wild camping, bushcrafting, and stuff like that. Out for a little bit of backpacking and just stopping off without the risk of like tag rounds or Mark 5s coming in on top of you all day long. It's a great, really nice vintagey bit of outdoorsmanship with a little Trangia stove. They are good fun, really nice, cool bit of kit. I do like them.
Mike says red flashing white, bright white, and red flashing white. Mike. Oh, okay. So that's what.
Red flashing white, bright white, and flashing white. Mike.
No,
what is that? So some weird code that you two have got going.
I've got to go and assassinate the president after this now.
Mike, red flashing white.
No, so it's that one. That little head torch there.
I wasn't sure if that was like a new call sign that Mr. Brewer's giving you. Imagine the name tape across your room. Yeah, red flashing white, bright white, flash white. Mike, come in. Over.
James C, I'm just going to ignore you. James C said Mike's head torch is a knockoff of an expensive American branded one. So there you go. Oh, and Dale says
James C. Mike's head torch is a knockoff. Oh, look, James C's going straight for the jugular there. He don't give a fuck.
No, that's fine. I don't care.
You've been schooled.
That's fine. I wasn't going for expensive kit on this one. I was going for functional and cheap.
Dodgy knockoff Mike.
Yeah. But what about a torch? I thought that one might combat tactical. Doesn't have to be glam. Just has all the main needs and bright as hell. So there you go.
Yeah, as long as you can see when it's dark with it, that's the main thing there. It's covered in it. Yeah.
Really. Rage has also just come back. They do a safety bottle for the meths, which lets you fill it up while lit, Lance.
Ooh. Oh, yeah. Link me, baby. I've got the orange one, orange fuel flask vessel sort of type thing, mate, for mine. But I've not seen the one that you can fill up whilst it's there. That's cool. Is that some little valve that goes in? Oh, that's all exciting now. I mean, Rage, having a little Trangia conversation. I love it. They're well good. I love them. It's good fun.
Oh, blimey.
It's the fact that you can light it with a fire still as well. You can just put some meth in there and go, and it's like, yeah. You don't know it's lit till you put your finger in it, though, because you can't see the flame very well. But
yeah.
There we go.
No, they are cool. I have used one. I don't own one myself, but yeah, I'm a fan of gas, basically. So, hand torch. What hand torch you got?
Yeah, I had to bug out on this one because I couldn't find the hand torch that I've got, which is a lead Lenser ex-police issue torch. which I didn't really get. I got given as a gift, so I didn't really know where it's come from or how much it was. But I do have another one, which was around the price of this one I've got here, which I've had for a long time, which is basically, I don't know if there's any truth in this or not. It's a rechargeable. It's 100,000 lumen. It's the most powerful LED flashlight torch in the UK for £17.88.
Wow.
I think that's bollocks myself, but
wow.
it looks really similar to one I've got. Yeah.
If that's the case, I've got one that's 990,000 lumens.
Oh my God. Wow. So yeah, again, these aren't O-lights, these aren't Surefires or anything like that at all. But I have had one which is not far off that price range for 5 years now, rechargeable. It's been absolutely fine. But, you know, could be luck of the draw. I've also had ones that are absolute howlers that sort of turn on when they think they should and then don't work when they should be working. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, you've got to be very careful. If you can go with like a sort of branded, or at least one that's got a proper guarantee with it, you know, it's UK based, then, you know, do so with your electronics. No, you know, no point taking risks on it really, especially if you're relying on it for like night games and bits and bobs like that, you know. But like I said, you know, lead lenser, Surefire, O-light.
See, I was looking at those originally as well.
They're all good.
Especially the ones where you can get like the little trigger unit that you can screw onto the back as well. So if you want to use it as like a weapon mounted one, but obviously they are a lot more expensive. The one I went for was literally just, I've had a few torches like this in the past. They still work now. I think one of them, to be fair, the battery corroded in it. So I had to throw it away. But, you know, for £12.48, you're not talking a vast sum of money here. But what did make me laugh was the 990,000 lumens, because I just don't believe it.
It's incredible. And it's how funny is a lot of these torches in this price bracket have all got the same pictures showing it lighting up the back of someone's house or shining down a forest pathway. It's like, God, he must have been there for days taking these photographs.
Look at that one you can use to illuminate entire buildings.
Look at that. And you can also buy an aftermarket tripod to leave it there. Wonderful.
So
good stuff.
Yeah, James C makes a good point. I just head to Wilco and pick up one of their cheap ones. That's the thing. If fundamentally a torch is a torch, you know, it doesn't have to be super. You know, at the end of the day, yeah, I've seen this at sort of NAE and sort of similar festivals. Is people shining their freaking searchlights up in the air. Yeah, all right, you could illuminate the Boeing 747 flying over and probably blind them, but that's way too high for airsoft. You're never going to need that.
Do you know what? I've always wanted to touch on this a bit. Is like when you get them, it's got like a spill range of 300 meters from the lamp, and it's like, I get that for like search and rescue and things like that. You need full visibility, and let's say that's like a 1500 lumen torch will go when it's on its turbo, 300 meters. We're engaging loosely up to 100 meters, if that. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And I'm talking obviously tag launchers and mortars, from pistols all the way up. We're not going to ever hit anything further than sort of 100 meters. So, having said that, then would a 300 lumen torch do the job? Would it still be as bright? Would it still emit as much light as what you'd need compared to one? Obviously, 1800 lumens is mentally a lot brighter, but it doesn't need to be that bright.
But God damn it, you need 990,000.
Yeah, this is what I mean. It's like, you know, get that.
I don't just want to illuminate the enemy. I want to burn their retinas and their children's retinas and their grandkids' retinas.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I want to burn you out of the history books. But I mean, just saying, like a 300 lumen torch and an 1800 lumen torch, same company, same size, blah blah blah. Are you paying more for the actual brightness it emits, or not? Do you know what I mean? I can't get my head around. Like, can you get like what is it, the Warrior O-Light Warrior XS or something it's called? Handheld torch, which is like 1800 lumens, something crazy like that, which is cool. Don't get me wrong, I was actually looking at them today, along with the angled head torch one I was looking at. Can you get like a lower power version of that? Would that be then less in cost? Do you know what I mean? I don't know how it works with torches, and like, are you paying for the brightness, or is it regardless of brightness, this is how much the torch is? You know.
Well, I mean, presumably the brighter the torch, the longer the throw it's got.
Yeah, exactly. So
arguably, I mean that, like,
you're not diminishing by getting a 300 lumen one. You're not diminishing on the quality or the brand of the torch. You don't need it to be as powerful as that. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, something to think about, I suppose.
Jason Sladen's come in and said, I think it's about dazzling the enemy. I mean, by all means, literally for the cost of those torches, you could have those set up as freaking searchlights on. Like
I mean, I'm sure Johnny 600's got one which is a good 90,000 lumens for reaching that 600 yards. He must have.
Not 90,000, 990,000.
Oh, 999,000. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, amazing.
We're only 10,000 short of 1 million lumen. So
2 million and it's cheap. 2 million.
Liz says I have a Kree torch that's 2 million and Les says I've got a Kree torch that's 2 million and it's cheap. Oh, Les, ping us a link. I'm trying to see what's the most lumens you can buy.
300 lumens all you need. I think it's so people can say my torch is like the sun. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's what my work torch is like for the underground tunnels. Like,
yeah.
So, my God, beam me up. Yeah, all good fun.
Right, lastly on the list was the first aid kit.
Yes, I've got first aid kit. Again, I'm sure you're going to have little personal items that you're going to want to put in there. You know, little bits and bobs if you're allergic to anything, antihistamines and things. If you've got gout, might want to consider putting some gout tablets in there. Motherfucker.
Just 10 litres of water.
10 litres of water and a load of naproxen or whatever it's called. Paracetamol. So I got a first aid kit, 45-piece medical kit bag, travel holiday, workplace car, blah blah blah. $8.99. Good little starter kit there. Nothing wrong with that at all. There we go.
Oh, it's exactly the same one.
There we go. Antiseptic, swab wipes in there, triangular bandage, few sticky plasters, scissors, bits and bobs, and you can add bits to that. You need paracetamol, ibuprofen. Adds a few bits to it. As you see fit, that's a personal kit for you. It's not a kit for you and for the whole team or anything like that. If you want to get one between you that's bigger to stay at your fob or whatever, you can do. But this is one that's going to stay in your webbing set or in your day sack, and it'll be on you at all times. So always handy to have an actual first aid kit on you. I know the tourniquets and that look awesome, and if you know how to use them, then fair play. And obviously, like the first field dressings and all that sort of stuff. But to actually have a first aid, you're not going to open a first field dressing because someone's cut their finger open. You're going to want something like that on you. And it's good practice.
You're not going to be fixing broken legs.
No, the only thing I would add to that kit as well is a couple of vials of eye wash. So the old saline solution, little twisty, like the old squirty pop bottles used to twist the top off and drink it. It's the same with the eye wash. Just to clean your eyes out for obvious reasons. Things like that. That's one thing I would add. And some burn gel. I'd definitely add burn gel to the kit. Again, for obvious reasons, using pyro. Not having access to clean water if you're out in the field or wherever it is you're taking part in. So, yeah, some burn gel would be good. But, yeah, that was my first aid kit. And I think that was it.
Jason's got a good point. Or a pair of tweezers and first aid kits. So splinters are bitter. I don't know what that stands for. P-I-T-A.
Pain in the arse.
Pain in the arse. Oh, pain in the arse. There you go. It's been a long week. I'm sorry.
Splinters are a pitter.
Tick removal kits and things like that are good little shouts as well. Especially if you're running around like dense woodland.
Which would be the old Turk. The old Turk kit and the pitter. Yeah, good.
Yeah, cool. Dale says, gone are the days where all that's needed is a plaster. Yeah.
Good old plaster. A bit of spit in a rag, mate. You're all right.
So, yeah, Harry says, if your kit list is about $250 and the budget was $300, what would you spend the £50 on?
I would have got a Gore-Tex jacket in there, which I did have, but might maybe take it out.
It's only because that was on the list that you sent me.
Because I didn't tell him about it. But yeah, a Gore-Tex or a softy jacket of some description. But then I'm sort of thinking, on the other hand, the reason I put it in there last minute was that you're probably going to have a jacket of some description because, like we said, you'd have your initial battle kit or your day event kit. So I'm guessing like your fatigues and a jacket of some description would be included in that. If you're taking part in a one-day battle scene that's wet weather forecast, you're going to have a jacket. So yeah, it'd definitely be a softy jacket for me because I love my softy jacket. I think it's up here somewhere. I'll definitely have that, like a buffalo jacket or a softy or a nice big zip up, like fluffy fleece, Mike's teddy bear fleece, perfect example, or something like that. But yeah, all good. But with regards to hats, gloves, things like that, you're gonna have that sort of kit start with. This is like your bare bones. This is like you could take what's on that list now and go out into the field for a night, and you'll be sort of quite comfortable, obviously with your rations and a bit of water and that. But yeah, that's one thing. I don't know if I want to add to it.
Anyway.
Exactly. This is like your structural, your bare bones sort of thing. Then like Mike said earlier, the more events you go to, you'll see someone who's got, oh fucking hell, he's got that. That's wicked, mate. And the idea, where'd you get it from? What do you think of it? But and you will 100% you're gonna buy things that you think, fucking hell, why'd I buy that? Don't even need that. I've got a box full of that. So is Mike. The idea and the thought behind it was good, but turns out in practice, nah, not so good. You're living.
There's also things like you just don't get on with kit, so it can be good kit, but you just don't like it. Like hammocks aren't necessary for everybody. There's lots of different situations out there where you go, it was cool, but I'm not going to use that again. So it's good to just sort of people that have the kit, because ultimately they're going to give you the best review on it.
That's it, exactly. Yeah. Genuine reviews, especially if someone's got it on them at an event. You say, "Oh, mate, how you getting on with that sleeping bag? How you getting on with that shelter setup?" You know what I mean? This, that, and your cook set, jet board, blah blah blah. All them sorts of bits. Ask people who in airsoft doesn't like talking about the gear they've got. That's a great conversation starter, especially if you've gone to your Jack Jones to an event. You say, "Excuse me, mate, do you mind if I ask you about this?" I was struck up a conversation with a guy when we went to the Longmore one because he had the Mitsubishi Pajero in front of me. I was asking about his roof rack. I was like, "Excuse me." So yeah, start a little conversation. Nothing to do with airsoft, but there we go. You know what I mean? You know where I was going with it.
Yeah. I'd go with the waterproof layer as well. There's nothing worse than being wet. Like cold, to be fair, you can get sort of cheap layers and stuff. I mean, obviously the softy jackets are good. Hard shells, soft shells, anything like that. You can also add extra layers, but ultimately once you're wet, you're wet. So if you can obviously try and keep dry, it's just going to make your event a bit better. So
absolutely.
Failing that, ammo and kit has just been ammo.
Lots of that. Handfuls of it.
So cool. Rage has chipped in on the first aid kit. So saline solution, triangular bandage. If you know how to use one, different size dressings, hypothermia blanket is the bare minimum if you're spending prolonged time outdoors.
Absolutely, mate. Yep. Good shout.
Mike says waders.
yeah. Pete says waders. Waders, yeah. Chest high ones as well. They'll have to be full on. J.R. Hartley's.
Hey, if you can get them with multicam, spot on.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, you'll have Mike there on the JTF team or whatever like that, and you'll have some new people that haven't really been to an Octo event before rock up, and they'll sort of like walk up to Mike, and Mike's just there like full tactical kit, and they're just waders from like the chest down. Like,
but like almost the novelty ones, like the big ring around the top that you'd throw like custard into or something like that in a game show, just like like Ross Abbott.
Oh. Dale also said something for a first aid kit that should be essential is an actual tourniquet. Playing in the dark, there's always going to be the possibility of a clumsy tumble over a tree and impaling. Whether it's common or not, last thing you want is that to happen on no one else to stop the bleeding. See, the only thing I would say with a tourniquet is that if you don't do it right...
yeah, obviously my first thing would be make sure you come. I've got one. I've never had to. I've seen how they're used, and I've watched a fair few videos of how you'd use it, and I've made it ready so you can put it on one-handed with the way it's Velcro and stuff like that. I'd still be shitting my pants if I had to use it on someone. Do you know what I mean? Touch wood, I'd never have to do that ever in my life.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think a lot of people obviously got them because they're part of the kit. It's a part of the look. It's the aesthetics of your loadout. But yeah, I mean personally, I'd probably steer clear of a tourniquet unless it was I'd severed an artery or something like that. But a heavy first field dressing, tear that open and get that packed on there or something like that, or quick clot. I don't know how you'd use that, but that's obviously something else you can think of.
Just mud and just
yeah. But if you're going down the road of tourniquets and that, yeah, that's a big ask, isn't it? That's a serious. If you're having to whip one of them out, that's a proper injury that needs to be dealt with like as soon as possible by a professional. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. See, that's the sort of thing I would anticipate the site first aid kit's got in it.
Yeah. So I'll just read him Rage's there.
Just ignoring me, just going to read the
Rage is the man, isn't he? Because he knows this is his background.
Rage says, no, don't take a tourniquet. It's not taught even in ILS or ALS, immediate life support and advanced life support. Most doctors aren't taught to use them.
Exactly. There you go.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there you go. Cheers.
It's so dangerous if not used correctly. You can lose limbs and your life.
Yeah, this is what I mean. Exactly that. I mean, it's all good for the look on the loadout, but I certainly wouldn't feel comfortable having to use one. God, I'd be terrified of using one for real.
Andy said the same thing. Interestingly, unless trained, never use TQs, it can kill people if not done correctly. So
yeah, there we go.
Andy's also with first aid kits, make sure things are still in date, and if you get super wet, make sure it's still good. So that's
where we come. Stuff sacks. Putting your kit in stuff sacks always good.
Little dry bag.
Your little dry canoe bags. That's definitely an advocate for that, and we might.
Yeah, we love a dry bag. Terry says sea locks if you're going that way. That's another one as well. Sorry, I can hear you. What do you say?
Nothing. No, just laughing at dry bag.
Okay, no, that's fine. Cool. Well, that's that for this episode. So, what was your overall price?
So my overall price was, hang on. Oh bloody hell! Oh, here we go. Sorry. Excuse my professionalism. Was a grand total of £274.31, and that's with £21.47 delivery. So the items in my list were £252.84 with a £21.47 delivery on top of that. So grand total of £274.31 for my lot.
Cool, there you go.
About you, mate?
Mine was £245.68. That's assuming you're going down sort of the DPM route of things.
Yeah. Mine's got a bit of a mixed bag. The bivvy bag is MTP. I think that was the only thing MTP actually on there.
But I've got a 990,000.
Worth it, yeah. You paid, you're getting your lumens in. That's what we like to see. Get your daily amount of lumens.
Exactly.
Cool beans.
Cool. Right. Well, I've been checking the reviews. We haven't had any more in. So I don't have to do stupid French accents. So that is a plus. So I did find out that Orteil, or T-E-I-L, is French for feet.
Grande feet. No, what's toe, man? Toe.
Oh, it might be toe. I can't remember what I looked up now. Might be toe. Okay. So yeah, we're not going to be doing an episode next week. We are taking a bit of a break, just to sort of kind of reconfigure and get ourselves sorted out. So we will be back the week after, which will be a Wednesday, and it will be Wednesday the 3rd of November. So feel free to join us then. In the meantime, if anybody wants to buy any patches, we've still got a few patches left, so feel free to have a chat. We can sort
get in touch.
And you can get in touch with us via our email at nofochat@hotmail.com. Instagram is November_Foxtrot_Nofo. Facebook is at November Foxtrot Nofo. And YouTube is www.youtube.com/C/November Foxtrot. In the meantime, Lance, anything else?
No, all good, mate. Just to reiterate, obviously, we haven't got many patches left, so if you do want any, chuck an order into Mike or email the show. Make sure you put your address where you need them sent to, because we've had a few people we've had to refund because we've asked them for their addresses and they've not got back to us. So we've had to just refund the money because we don't know where to send them. So please make sure you clearly state what patches you want and where you live or where you want them sent. I don't care where you live, but where you want them sent.
Yeah. And if anybody wants to, feel free to drop us a review on Facebook as well. Next
Facebook,
week,
YouTube.
Lance might try reading it out in an angry French rater.
I might do, then I might not.
Yeah,
I haven't decided yet.
Who knows? We'll wait and see. So,
it won't be next week, it'll be the week after.
Yeah, the week after. Yeah, completely forgot what I said 3 minutes ago. So we're going well. Right.
Good stuff.
Cool. Say goodbye, Lance.
Goodbye, Lance.
See you later.